Summer on Delmarva. There is not much that can compare to that. The beaches, the boardwalk, the sunsets, the festivals and carnivals, you put them all together, and it's like something you see in the movies. On top of that, there are so many summer destinations here on Delmarva. No summer season would be complete without visiting them.
Oh yeah, and one of those destinations is Funland on the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk. Just saying it, you can almost hear the rides and the children's laughter and smell the salt from the sea. Author Lindsley wrote a book about the history of Funland, Land of Fun, the story of an old-fashioned amusement park for the ages. Thank you for being here this afternoon,
Thank you for having me.
So, this is your first book. What inspired you to write it?
I worked at Funland for 6 summers in high school and college, so I got to experience the park firsthand, and I've been going to the park every year since I was 4, so I'm 55 now. And I've had 2 kids who are 19 and 21 who have experienced the park every year, so I knew a lot about the park. I knew a lot about the family that's owned it since 1962. And being a journalist, writing a book was something that was kind of on my to-do list, and a couple of years ago I decided Funland was a great story to tell.
And there you go. So tell us about the family that owns Funland.
The Fasnacht family, there's 4 generations of that family that have been running the park since 1962. Just, from my experience, just an incredible family.
Yeah.
Things that they really stressed over the years are things like keeping prices low. It's one of the cheapest parks in terms of ride and games that you'll find anywhere. So there's a big value on that. There's a big value on history and nostalgic sense. They have 5 rides that have been there since 1962 that they maintain and operate that people ride on. So, the cool thing about that is that there's 3 and 4 generations of families that have actually ridden on the same ride that you hear about consistently.
And the kids still love them.
The kids still love them, and the families and the people. I talked to over 120 people for the book, and many of them are Funland customers. And one of the first things that comes up is we've had 2 or 3 generations of people on the merry-go-round or the boats or the fire engines or some of those rides that, really are kind of unifying family traditions.
I have pictures of my kids riding on the boats, definitely. Are there any particular stories that stand out about this family that owned Funland?
I think there's a couple, one of which is just the whole nature of giving back, right? I think this concept of affordable family fun is something that they live. So, for example, they haven't raised ticket prices. The first 25 years of the park, the ticket prices remain the same. And they're still, as I mentioned earlier, kind of far below where everyone else is. So, that's kind of unique. There's some great stories about how they built. The one ride they built that's on site is the Haunted Mansion, right, which they built in 1979. Which was very unique at its time in terms of, not to get too detailed here, but at the time, most haunted mansions were either walk-through or they had a track on the floor. Funland has the suspensions above. So literally it was like the 3rd ride in the world, haunted mansion ride at the time, that was done that. And the fact that they did it with their own people, really speaks to them. But what's interesting about that ride, from my opinion, is it's considered to be, and believe it or not, there are dark ride experts or haunted mansion experts. They consider it to be one of the 10 best in the country.
Seriously?
Including Universal, including Disney, including Six Flags over whatever city it's in. So, they're even kind of amazed by that. But I talked to several of those experts, and there's some great detail about that in the book about why they think it is so special.
So you say that your book is it transports families back to a more simple time. What do you mean?
I think one thing we've experienced is the traditional family vacation where the whole family gets in a station wagon, goes somewhere, has kind of gone by the wayside for many people. But I think at Funland it hasn't. It's still there. You see families together, no iPhones, no gadgets. They're there, they're engaged, and they have hours of fun together. And I can't think where else I see that on a regular basis, but you do see it there. And they have, again, 5 of these rides that have been there so long. So again, it's a timeless feel. It's like you could have walked in there in the 70s or 80s and walk in there now and you'd see a lot of the same things. And I think you'd have a lot of the same feel. And other things that customers tell me is that they feel safe there. They feel like their kids can go around within the park and they don't have to be right with them. Whereas once they leave and are on the boardwalk, they don't feel that way.
Look, skee ball.
Ski bill.
Sorry.
Yep. So you mentioned that you interviewed over 100 people.
Yes.
What other research did you do to write this book?
You know, spent a lot of time with the family. You know, again, there's 30 so members of the family, so I did a lot of research and talking with them about the park. But I think given the fact that I worked there for 6 summers, a lot of the factors I already knew, and I tried to include, I call it a history/memoir, because again, I was there and I had some of those inside stories that I could share as an employee.
Yeah.
But I think I had access to former employees, so I did do a lot of research in terms of the people I talked to, but I think I already had quite a bit of background in working with the family.
A lot of depth
I
in there.
felt like, yes, exactly. I felt like I had a lot of knowledge kind of going in, so.
Chris Lindsley, author of Land of Fun. Thank you so much.
Do you plan on
for
writing any
joining
other
us.
books?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'd love to, but this summer I'm really going to try to enjoy this one as much as I can. I think there's a lot of exciting things going on in Rehoboth related to the book, so you know, it's been a pleasure. You know, it was a passion project for me, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to enjoying it.
All right.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to heading back to Funland and enjoying
Yeah,
that.
no kidding, isn't that right?